All right, this poor thing here is becoming a flat surface, and we've got to try to make it not that way. So I'm gonna get started on that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oller Man. This here is the Junkyard Super 77 that I bought with my, millions of dollars of disposable income. And we've just been making it a little more better over time. And one thing that it has struggled with is it's running with the choke. Well, part of the reason is that that is not the right size carburetor. So I thought we would remedy that with this. Oh yeah, that's a lot of money. I spent more money on that probably than on the whole rig. But the thing about this is, I guess let's talk real quick about these junkyard tractors. Is it worth it? Absolutely not. I've said that before. There is no possible way you could justify doing this in any sort of way, shape, or form to make money, or that it would make sense. I do this because I like it. I enjoy bringing it back from the dead. And furthermore, even if it turns out to be a total pile of garbage and I have to junk it, I can pull off stuff like this and save it for other things. That's how you accumulate piles of parts. Over the years, you save stuff here and there and whatever. And that's how you get spare stuff. And then whenever you come across a tractor like this, you can just start slapping that stuff back on, and there you go. So that's where we are. I have the carburetor. However, I don't think I have enough. I'll have to look. I don't know if I have any of the hose, but I could go to town here after a while. When I go to town here after a while, I could potentially bring some back. I got some pipe and stuff to work on hydraulic fittings, but I realized I forgot. I'm gonna need a couple 90-degree elbows to make that go, because I've only got 2 of the swivels. And I think as I looked at them, they were both restrictors, so they need to go in like opposite corners. I can't exactly remember which is which, but I'll look that up. And then we can work on bolt holes and things like that. Oh, the other big thing we could do, and I wonder if I could sneak it out without, well, I could take the sheet metal off, I don't care. But the valve cover is not got a gasket in it, and it's to the point that we need it because it's leaking oil down all over the side every time we run it. So we're gonna have to do that thing. So yeah, so we might pull the sheet metal off right away. Did I put a clamp on this muffler? Yes, I did. So we'll have to unburden that by what has been before we try to play with it and run it. Otherwise it'll be too hot to take it apart. But I think that's going to be our goal for this video, because I never know how it's going to turn out. But we're going to change carburetor. We're going to try to put a valve cover gasket on it, and we're going to try to get those plumbed in and then plugged off for now, so that that stays clean. And we'll do hoses and that at a later time. We're going to have to pull that off and go through the pump, I'm sure, because I'm about 99% sure that one of the seals was out of that pump and it was hanging on the power takeoff shaft. I clipped it off and took it out of there, but I would say that's one of the seals, and it should have back-to-back seals, so in theory it might still hold oil. We've never tried it, but it definitely will probably let, the outside oil, which would be the rear end oil in this case, would let it in. I don't know. Not important. The most important thing here is let's just make a little more progress and get rid of some of these parts I got laying around so they don't just sit here forever. And like I said, we get this done, I can get a hose and have that sealed off so it doesn't suck in dirt. Because right now, my issue was this is so much smaller than that, and to find an adapter hose is going to be super expensive. So if I'm going to do that, I might as well just buy the super expensive carburetor and the cheaper hose that you can find everywhere. So, and then it'll be correct, because there is a potential that this will be a nice, usable tractor for something at some point. Eventually, yes, we're going to have to overhaul the engine because it runs like crap on that one cylinder, but you know what I'm saying. Little baby steps at a time. That's how we make it happen. All right, I'd say carburetor first, maybe, question mark. We can take the sheet metal off. Well, I was going to stick you to that, though. We'll come up with something. We're going to take the hood off, I think. I guess I could take the panel off the other side and probably weasel that out of there without doing that. We might experiment with that here in a minute, but let's firstly concentrate on what we got going here. Now, the way I have this set up, I have it set up for the style of fuel line that I normally use, and the carburetor came with a compression style. So I will probably unthread this fitting and put in my fitting so that I can just, and that's not even the final variation of fuel line, that's just scraps that we had laying around to make that go at the time that we did that. So yeah, let's see if we can find, I'm sure that's not the size. No, it's not. I don't know where my 1/2 inch went that I had over here, but I've got this. And luckily this fuel line hasn't been in here long enough to get stuck. I've had that problem sometimes too. Alright. Fuel line is out. Now we're ready for taking this off. We'll put this carburetor back in the spare parts pile. Spoiler alert, this carburetor never was a great runner. It was on my regular 77 for years, and I could never get it to run quite right without a little bit of a miss. But so this putting this different carburetor on might make this thing run a lot better. I don't know, but I know that it's not going to be perfect because that number 4 or 5, whichever one was really stuck bad, it's pretty bad. I mean, the cylinder wall, it's pretty bad. So it's never going to run like a new one, but you know what I'm saying. So this is going to go back to our spare parts pile for emergency junkyard revival use. The next time we drag home a revival tractor. Oh, this one didn't even have, I forgot it. We couldn't get the that yoke around there the right way without hitting. So I wonder, I would say that our problem will be fine on this other carburetor, but one never knows. Awesome, I just threw the adjustable wrench far away, so that's nice. Are we going to struggle? Why are we struggling? There. We're probably going to have to also readjust our governor linkage because that's not going to be anywhere close to normal. So yeah, we're going to have to table that a second. Let's get our fitting out of here. Let's make sure I didn't just smash it flat, because that always sucks when that happens. No. Oh, this fitting's nice. Too bad I'm not going to use it. This one has a nice little screen made on it. I guess I could use it, but I feel like that screen will cause us issues too that I'm not equipped to deal with, because I don't usually do that. So we'll just lay that aside. We'll stick with our normal ways, you know. Alright. Is that still gonna work? Yes. Now we don't have my brain just locked up, friends. What was I trying to say? Doesn't matter. We'll move on. We'll be taking this on and off probably a couple times here to get that rod the right way, because it's It would have been easier before I put the air cleaner on, but you know the way that it goes. Everybody's struggling. There we go. I don't know who rebuilt this carburetor, but they did an excellent job. I mean, they put all new stuff in and it's cleaned up really nice. So now this nut is not wanting to play along, but let's just stick that on there for temporary sake, and then we're gonna see about this rod if we can. I really need to be in the wide open. Let's see, now I've done it. Did I really just... I think I really just limited myself to... Oh, no, there we go. Okay, there we go. You basically got to have the rod where it's half a hole from going in. And I'm pretty sure you do that in the wide open position. And the reason you do it that way is so that when the governor reacts, it's got more, it can give you more. If you do it the wrong way, it won't give you anything, and that's not what you want. So, alright, let's pull the throttle down. We also should probably check that spring. I think it's supposed to have 19 coils between the thing, or something like that. There's some rule for that. Yeah, okay, so like right now, ooh, is it gonna be, well, no, that ain't right. Why is it? It's gonna be very close. Well, I need to go in more, I guess. That's weird. I would have sure guessed that I'd have to go. Well, let's get this out of the way a little bit so we can see. I don't want to break that rod because it's not very substantial, you know what I mean? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 coils. This looks like I'm not going to get it any shorter, or it's going to be in the, it's going to be into the pin. Well, yeah, see, it's not gonna let me, do that. So what am I gonna do? Saw off some of that rod? I got a lot of threaded rod here. I'm not real sure why this tractor has so much. I'm not real sure. There's no adjustment on the other end, so you got to do it all here. But I'm thinking about sawing a little bit off. I have a feeling, okay, I bet I know what happened. I bet you this clevis has been replaced, and maybe it's got a different length or something. I don't know. But we're gonna make this a big ordeal, you know. We're gonna saw some off, then we're gonna have to rethread the end so that the clevis goes on good. It's gonna just become a big production that I didn't really want, but such is life. Yeah, because see, I got way more than Got way more than normal. And I don't know why that is. Unless somebody got this rod off of a different tractor and it's not exactly what this one's supposed to have. I don't know. But I know what's about to happen. Alright, are you there? I should have filmed that, but I saw it a little off. I might not even need to I don't recommend doing that unless you're absolutely positively sure that you got it right. Because you could end up where you got not enough. And I might have done that too. I don't know. We'll find out. But I think I'm fine. I think I had way more than what it... Like so many things in life, I've got more length than I needed. We're going to put this on now, hopefully. Yeah, see, I still got tons room. And with this carburetor, I have to have room for this arm to pivot in there, so I think we're good to go. Let's hang this up there again and do our measurement test. Let's glance up there and also make sure that the throttle hasn't bounced out for some reason. Nope, it's still. Yeah, okay, now we need to come out. How far are we there? Ah, dang it. Can't hardly see what we're doing. Probably took a little more than I should have, but won't be the first time I've foiled myself. Can't even see what's happening. I think I'm there. We're getting, oh yeah, we're plenty. It's because I didn't have the carburetor tightened down. Dum-dum. Let's do that, but we're very close to what we need. Oh, carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel. I think I'll get by with that. I like it to be like a half a hole or so. Let's go with that. Get that pin in there. Maybe. Will we get that pin in there or not? I think you have to have it started in the fork before you... I don't remember the tricks. This is probably kind of wore out here. We'll get it, friends. We'll get it. I'm making this more difficult than it has to be, but I don't want to have to take it off again. I want to make it the right way the first time. Awesome! That rolled way away. That's fine. Usually I put this pin in before I bolt the carburetor up. Then you can see all the way around. You can get to the... watching me, and what happened to my, oh, there it is. Okay, it actually came with a new one of these, but this one's brand new also because I just put it in, so gonna go with that. We're gonna hope that that doesn't hit anything. It is kind of rubbing that a little bit, but maybe it'll all find its happy place, you know. All we can hope. There we go. That does rub a little bit, I don't know, but I think it'll be fine. I'm trying to figure out why. Is it rubbing because I don't know. Maybe the arm on this carburetor is slightly different than it should be in some way. I don't know. We need to get us a actual choke cable too. That's another thing. I've been waiting to make an AGCO order because they have the best choke cables, I think. So for today, we're gonna probably still have to engineer it in some way with a piece of wire or what have you, but I'm liking this a lot better. And you see a nice straight piece of hose, I'll pretty well fill that in. I'll have to look and see if I've got one. I usually keep some hose of different sizes. Let me go do that real quick and just to get some idea of what we're gonna need. All right, no hose, but that's okay. I've got the sheet metal off. Now I'm going to try to throw it over and bend it all up off camera. I'm doing a great job too, by the way. Come on, sit there. It's all brand new. We'll have to tackle that here in a minute, but I just can't wait. I gotta hear it run, see if that made a noticeable difference. It may not run without the choke out anyway. Our manifold is about to leave the chat though. When I tightened it down for keeps, then it started to let loose. But all right, we're in neutral. We need fuel. Yeah, let's. In the wide open position. Oh man, I thought it was going to run without the choke too. And it is. Well, it needs a little more, I think a little more load needle action, so it doesn't flood when you rev it up or starve. See, they're falling on its face. Falling on your face. Oh, whoops. One. Okay, that's two. I'm adjusting the carburetor if it's not clear. was worse than I thought. It's got a hole in there. It's got a hole right there. It's not sealing up there. So I probably should try to latch onto a better one of those. I've got a whole pile of those. I could probably find one that was better, but it does run. But that could also be part of our missing problem. The smoking is from the bad cylinder wall, but doesn't run too bad for what it is. But you can hear it sucking. You can see that gasket bouncing around. That's the worst it's ever smoked. That's the worst it's ever smoked, but it's also the best it's ever run. So the carburetor made a difference. Time will tell whether it was in good ways or bad ways, but we did what we had to do, friends. Like I said, my goal right now is just making this movable, making it where we can start it up, move it out of the way, whatever. Park it in front of an auger and run an auger, pull a hay rake, just play. You know, and then be able to tell people that thing was in a junkyard for lots of years. Now, our next order of business is cleaning up that valve cover. That is nasty. And we're gonna clean that all up. I've got a new gasket in the house. I had also ordered an oil pan gasket for it because it was always milky. But now that we've got it good and hot different times, I think we've pretty well cured that. That is something that happens. Sometimes people freak out. Like if you leave a tractor sit in the shed for a long time or like over winter, it will accumulate moisture like in the oil pan and whatever, and the first time you pull out the stick you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's got, you know, milky oil, whatever. And usually if you just get it hot and run it, that fixes the problem. It gets rid of that condensation, you know, and makes it fine. But anywho's, we need a hose for there. We need a hose for technically for here. I thought that was laying around here somewhere, but maybe not. I might just be better off to get me a hose that fits that and coil it up there. Remains to be seen. But this is our struggle here right now, is valve cover. What am I doing here? Well, I'm looking for something else that I remember seeing off camera, and that is my scraper. I thought my scraper was laying over here. Scraper? I don't see it. I'm also thinking about gauges. I do have one set of gauges. One. Do I go ahead and slap those in so that I know what's happening with this? Or do I just look the blind eye away today? I might just look the blind eye away today because I don't know. Let's get some more progress done here and we'll worry about that later. This is a must-have. I have to do this because it's went on long enough. We'll clean all this up. I'll get some rags here and drape over this whilst we're gone. I couldn't remember what we all... I thought that I had cleaned up the edge, but maybe not. Maybe I did, and now it's accumulated trash again from leaking. I wish my lawnmower pieces would show up, because I'm getting awfully tired of my poor lawn, you know, my grass getting so long, is what I'm trying to say. And I've got the thing tore apart behind me, the pump. And it'd be real handy to get that stuff before I forget how it all went together, you know. I called the one place the place that I thought would send the parts first has not sent the parts. And the place that I thought I'd be sitting waiting on the one piece, it showed up right away. And I called the outfit and they said, well, they haven't got the part yet from the warehouse, so I guess it'll probably be another week. Not real thrilled about that, but there's nothing you can do. Alright, we're gonna just drape this in shame. No. This will just keep some of the... Because I guarantee you that after I leave, a bird will take a dump right on top of this. They do that every single time I do something. I can't have anything nice with these birds. I'll get this stuff cleaned up. Namely this, because that's pretty full from years of use. But I'll get that cleaned up, and I don't know, might even meadow greenify it. I don't know if I want to do that. Probably not. Do I? I don't know. We'll see. But and the only reason I wouldn't do that on this is because we're going to be back in there at some point overhauling an engine, so that's what's got me thinking down that line of thought. But let's get it cleaned up and get that gasket glued on. And I don't know, this is the one I would use the clothespin trick on, but maybe I don't even want to do that now. I don't know. Maybe I just want to bolt it down and walk away. All right, we got that cleaned up, so we should be ready to glue on a gasket. We had such nice weather there for a little bit where it was pleasant to be outside, and now we're getting back to the high humidity again. Anyway, the moral of that story was I got the fan on again, so it's probably not doing you any favors to be able to hear, but such is life. We need to do a quick, before I do this wrong, we need to do a test fit, because there is, I think, a better way than another. I might just be imagining that again, because I think these are pretty well identical, aren't they? Yeah, that'll go in there like that. Someday when we overhaul this engine, we will clean this up, you know, a lot better. Meadow greenify it. Make it really nice. Now our only job is to make it not let dirt in the engine and not let oil out of the engine. That's just the way it is, friends. For a minute I thought I forgot to push record, and that would have been crap. I've done that before. Sit here talking to nobody. Kind of like I did before YouTube. Just out here talking to myself. But I'm the only one who will listen to me a lot of the time, so. Sometimes it seems like this is a lot of work for nothing, but it does help that gasket stay better where you want it until it gets glued down. Like right there around the corner, see, it's just not quite, without a little help, it won't quite stay to the out of the radius of the thing, but you simply clip it in and you're good to go. we got one more left. We can't leave that little buddy out. We don't want him feeling left out. We'll clamp him right in there. Put that right there. We'll let that sit and dry a while. Probably like whilst I go to town. And when I come back, we'll do the thing. But now, we're gonna go on to all of this. And basically what my plan was we were gonna plug it off. Oh, and I forgot something else now that I think about it. They didn't have enough, come on. They didn't have enough of the right length. So I got two different lengths. And I was gonna see if it was gonna be that much more obnoxious. And I can't explain it like here. See what I mean? So what I was gonna do is put two of them on one side and then two on the other. And thinking about this now, maybe I want to put the two longer ones on this side so that they go around the clutch better, because you got the clutch sticking out on this side of the platform. And then over here, if we get our stuff out of the way, we could be a little bit closer because it just hangs close right next to the platform there, see? I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let me hunt up somewhere here. I had a short pipe wrench. I remember seeing that somewhere. I don't remember where that was, but that would probably be the tool of choice here. Also, a vice grip would probably work. But yeah, let's get that and we'll screw that in there. And then we can I gotta get two 90-degree elbows from town for now. And then I got those two swivels. So we'll make it happen. All right, I had to do a quick refresher course, but it's the front on the right and the back on this side that gets the restrictor, and the other one is open. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way she goes. So should we clean that out? Ooh, yes we should. I get the little, oh, there's the pick. There's a chunk of schmutz right there. Just seems like it'd be a good idea to clean that up, you know? I guess I could have made it easy for myself, and where I still could, and you know, do one at a time before I put the other one in, tighten that one out. That would probably be a smartish thing to do. However, this probably isn't going to be the best. Actually, I got a better idea. When we put this other thing on, it's got a hex nut, and that will let us turn it in. Well, Teflon tape. that everybody hates it when I use it. Now we'll have something we can grab on and turn it in on both ends. When it gets tight on this end or whatever, it'll start on the other end. In theory, this will work. In practice, the torque wrench in my back just popped, so well, I shouldn't have used the pipe wrench. I don't think I didn't cut gouges in it, I just scuffed it. It's still smooth, it just looks shiny where the teeth hit. Should have been thinking, didn't think. Stupid pipe wrench. You just lay on the ground and think about what you've done. I was going to order hoses, but that everything I need to do all that is going to be $200 and some, so I'll just wait on that. We'll just do this for now, which will keep her clean, you know, keep her clean. We will get that other elbow from town and then finish that one. We'll go the other side and we'll get them that far. And when I get back from town, we'll film all the stuff that, you know, I haven't done because I don't have the pieces. So I need to probably sit down here and make me a list real quick so I don't forget. I got a little bit yet, but whatever. Let's go the other side and get those. Oh yeah. Oh, hydraulic oil. I knew ye well. That's a good sign, right? Did it immediately start puking out hydraulic oil whenever I... That must mean when we were playing with the levers and the valves that it actually pressurized some stuff and was fixing to make some stuff happen. It just didn't have anywhere to go. So now on this side, this one gets the elbow and the front one gets the watching-me. Oh, I like how I throw everything to the ground. Is this gonna work? Hope so. Of course. Of course. Need to get these other platform bolts too. There's 2 bolts that go in the front of this platform, and that's pretty annoying that they're not there. There we go. Alright. We'll finish that later. Oh, we could put that, we could put a pipe plug in this real quick. He says as he's profusely sweating all over everything. Well, if you're not dumb like me, you could get a simple pipe plug started in the home. There. Table for later. Alright, I'll bring you back as soon as I get back from town. Hopefully with some hose and a couple pipe elbows. And I'll sit down here and think about some other stuff I might need. Look up how long those bolts are supposed to be maybe and bring some of them. And just make it happen. Because, yeah, we're running out of things to do to it. That's great. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.